Welcome back, terrestrials, to another episode of We Made Rob Zombie Cry. And this is a special episode. This is the re-review episode where we're going to look back at movies that we reviewed and see if we need to change their star ratings. Because Jerry came up with this idea, he presented it to me, and he said, I got some different opinions on a few movies, and I want to see where you are at with them.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to stand by my statements, whether they're dumb or not. So I don't know how much I'm going to be changing, but I'm aware of a few of his. So let's hop into it and re-review some reviews
Right.
in this review.
Yeah. And just to give everybody notification or whatever, this is just movies that me and you did together. These aren't your solo. These aren't ones that you've done with other people. This is just movies that me and you have both starred. So starting out number one, our first one was The Fanatic.
Welcome back, terrestrials, to the Quarantine Movie Reviews. Today, I've got my expert movie reviewer, Jerry, and we're going to be discussing Fanatic.
The Fanatic.
So for those of you that don't remember this movie, Fred Durst made this movie with John Travolta. John Travolta plays a super fan of a character played by Devon Sawa, and he just doesn't understand boundaries. He might be a little mentally challenged and mentally ill. So that's the movie we're talking about. If you want to see the review, we'll put the
somewhere over here.
Yeah, basically. So, what did I give it?
We did not rate this.
Ooh, interesting.
They only made like $3,153 total. That's about $60 a theater.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Yeah, let's see. Tickets cost like almost $20. So being three people in a theater, being like, yeah, I'm gonna go see this.
Yeah, so
this works better because I was thinking I probably started a lot lower than I should have. So since this makes the first star rating, I can go lower.
You can drop whatever you want. You start the new rating. We did not rate this movie.
Looking back on it and considering everything, I think I'm going to give this a 3.5 stars because it wasn't the worst movie.
Yeah.
It was an interesting concept. I mean, we've seen that concept before, but I just really hated the way John Travolta looked. So I'm going to give it 3.5 stars.
Fucking pissed me off.
Yeah, exactly. And Devon Sawa was a dick in it, and that bums me out. So
yeah. I mean,
how many stars did you give this one?
I also did not rate this, but
today, like you said,
hey. But today, giving it, I am also giving it a 3.5, better than average.
Right. But just barely.
Yeah, just barely. Like, fuck it. I think looking back at the movie, it's still I still remember it. It's not like it's not that. So it still holds its place. Is it a 4-star? No, because like I didn't watch it more times. Like I didn't I'm gonna throw it on. I'm not gonna give it a 5-star and say but also I'm not gonna give it a 2 because I didn't loathe this motherfucker.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I think that 3.5 stars is fair for this movie.
Right.
So let's move on to the next one.
All right. Our next one that we reviewed together was Krampus.
All right, terrestrials, welcome back to the Quarantine Movie Reviews. Today I got special guest Jerry. Today we're going to be doing Krampus from 2015. Jerry, you picked this movie, so you take it away.
All right, Krampus. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
We both did not give this ratings.
Interesting. Okay, so Krampus, we all know this is the one with Adam Scott in it. This is the Krampus movie, the big one.
Director from Trick or Treat.
Right. So with this one, looking back at it, I feel like at that time I wouldn't have given it a very high rating.
Mhm.
And right now I think I'm going to stick with that and I will just give it a 3.
You're gonna give it a 3.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was very run of the mill. The Krampus idea to me is it's interesting. I like the idea of a demon eating shitty kids.
Word.
Uh, but at the same time, like that story just doesn't interest me. And I think they did a lot of things right in that movie as far as the costumes or the
Yeah.
prosthetics or whatever. But yeah, it's run of the mill. It's not my thing. So because Christmas isn't my thing. So
Word. Word.
how many stars are you gonna give it? Because I know you're a fan of Peter Jackson and or
Peter Jackson.
well, yeah,
Well,
because the
Weta.
same right,
Weta is the company that
right. Did
created the
Peter Jackson
monsters.
movies.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And guy did Trick or Treat, made this movie. I love this movie. I'm gonna give it a 5-star.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. I've purchased it twice. I lost one. I bought one, Blu-rays. Hey, just want to let our audience know though that Jacob thinks the Fanatic is better than Krampus. But I mean, we can move on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Going on to our next one, we did Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Was our next review. Now, get out your conversion calculator, because I gave this one an 8.5 bags of popcorn and you gave it a 9 bags of popcorn. So the conversion between popcorns and stars. So
Yeah, exactly. So at that time we were rating things 1 out
yeah.
of 10 bags of
Oh
popcorn.
my God.
Before that we used Steven Seagal's. So,
No,
it
we
only
haven't
get
gotten to Seagal
Oh, we
yet.
haven't used Steven
No, we
Seagal's at
haven't
this
even fucking
point?
gotten to
Oh,
Seagal's.
okay, yeah. So I think that if you don't know this movie, shame on you, especially if you're here because you like horror movies.
Word.
I'm not going to discuss this movie with you. You should know it by now. It's popular culture. There's a second one coming. Anyways, so jumping into a re-review and restarring of this one, since we're converting our popcorns to stars, the only thing we can do is give it 5 stars.
Yep. I fully agree. It's a 5-star movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even the things that I complained about in the
Mm-hmm.
movie,
Mm-hmm.
a la the werewolf story was weak.
Yeah, but it was good prosthetics.
Yeah, but I still fucking watch it like every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's becoming like the fucking I don't know, the Grinch that stole Christmas in my house,
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
like, or the Great Pumpkin,
Mm-hmm.
and be a little closer to the season. But yes, Trick or Treat is amazing. The 8.5, I think it was like when we were doing the 10-star thing, and then finally it was like, well, what's the difference between a 6-star movie and or popcorn and a 7? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, can you tell me a 6.5?
Yeah.
Um,
I had to keep you from giving things like 2.31 stars and
yeah,
shit. Like you were
that did
just
come up.
yeah. So
So, yeah. All right, moving on to our next one. Next one
mhm.
is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
We go to the police?
Call the police?
Yeah.
Tell them what?
Oh, I would tell them what happened.
That's a good idea, Dale. Oh, howdy ho, officer. We've had a doozy of a day. There we were minding our own business, just doing some chores around the house when kids started killing themselves all over my property.
Okay.
I gave this an 8 bags of popcorn.
Mhm.
You also gave this an 8 bags of popcorn.
Yeah, I think as far as horror comedies, this lands in the top somewhere. And an intentional horror comedy, not like
Mhm.
Evil Dead is horror comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, like this was written as a horror comedy.
Yeah, a la Shaun of the Dead,
Right.
or
Yes.
yeah.
I think that this lands in the top of the list of horror comedies
Yeah.
at this point in history. So I think with that information, I'm going to give this, I think I'm going to give this one a 4 stars.
Word. I also am going to give this a 4-star.
Hmm.
I've watched it multiple times.
Mhm.
I enjoy it.
Let's do that.
All right, moving on. the next movie we reviewed together was A Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, we're still in the bag of popcorn territory, but
Okay.
I gave this a 4.5 bags of popcorn, and you gave it a 4 bags of popcorn.
Out of
Now,
10?
yeah,
That
so
doesn't make sense. I think we switched.
No.
I think at that point we had made the conversation of what's 6 popcorn versus 7 popcorn. And I said, okay, fine. We'll just go to 5 bags of popcorn. That must be why we gave it 4.
All I know is that maybe that would make.
Is there
that would make
anything
sense.
else? Is there anything else after that that has like 8 bags of popcorn?
No.
Or is it
No.
okay? So that's where we took out 5 bags of popcorn.
Okay,
We
well
just
that
put
makes
them
me
up.
feel a little bit better.
Right,
because I
right,
was
yeah.
like,
Because
"Fucking
when you
really?"
said 4, I was like, what the fuck? That doesn't even make any sense that, you know, we would given it 4 if there was 10 available. So yeah, okay.
Because that makes sense, because the next one would be even more fucking shocking. So Nightmare on Elm Street. Where are we putting it on tonight's list?
I'm just gonna give it 4.5.
You're gonna give it 4.5.
Yeah, because it's almost a 5-star movie, but I don't love it that much.
Yeah. I am also going to go 4.5. It's almost like this is scripted and we've done this before. It's just like, yep, I'm doing that. I think the only one we've changed was Krampus. But so going on to our next one. This is a big one. This is where we actually started filming in the studio together. Our first movie, Hell Ride.
Welcome back, terrestrials, to the Quarantine Movie Reviews. We got Scary Jerry here again, and in today's episode, we're going to be doing Hell Ride from 2008. So if you don't know Hell Ride, you need to know Hell Ride.
You need
this
to know
is
Hell
a
Ride.
Quentin Tarantino presents, I believe.
Yes.
It's biker gangs, you know, just in the middle of the desert with a whodunit revenge story mixed in. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's amazing. So the only thing I can give it is this is a 5-star movie to me.
Okay, you're giving it a 5 off the bat without even knowing.
Yeah. What did I give it last time?
Last time you gave it 4 bags of popcorn.
Out of 5 bags, we're doing the 5 bag.
No,
right?
we're sticking with 5 Steven Seagals.
Okay. 5 Steven Seagals.
5 being
the
worst amount of Steven Seagals because there's more.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's why I reacted the way I did.
Okay. Then. Okay. To get to. Okay. How many Steven Seagals would you give it if you had to give it a Steven Seagal, since she's made me sit here and
so
look
we're
like
going...
a weirdo on camera trying to figure out the Steven Seagal math chart? Why can't we make these reviews so simple?
So that would be equivalent to 4 stars.
My brain thinking we're still at 10.
Yeah. We really hated these movies.
Fucking high or something?
I may have been, but so that to me, like 4 bags of popcorn means 4 stars. But I love that movie. I saw it, and there's nostalgia to it because we saw it at your house for the first time,
which is good because you were very stingy on the 5 stars.
I know, but if you give everything 5 stars, then what's a 5-star movie? You know what I mean? So.
Well, fucking Hell Ride is.
Yeah,
I gave this, and I'm shocked. I gave it 2.5. I was high probably that day. Fucking, I gave it 2.5
bags of popcorn. All right, let's just stop saying popcorns.
I gave it 3. I forgot.
Okay. Either way, that's still oddly low.
Yes, I gave it a 3.
The Hell Ride isn't Baytown Babysitters Club.
No.
Okay.
I know it's not based on Babysitters Clubs, but I agree with you. I have gone back and I've watched it. Then I'm throwing a 5 on this as well.
Yeah.
I feel like when someone's like, I want to see a movie that I've never seen before, and it's one of those movies you want to throw out and be like, you ever seen Hell Ride?
Right. Yeah. So
if
you're looking to watch if you're like, I want to see something badass, then Hell Ride.
And just classic feeling. All right. The next movie that we reviewed together is Suburban Sasquatch. We are both NA on that. We did not give popcorn, or at least I never could find one.
I'm giving it 5 Steven Seagals.
Yeah, fuck. So that's a
Um,
-5 star.
Yeah. So this movie is the most ridiculous thing I've probably laid my eyes on. It's got to be in the top 3. Jerry picked this movie. He's a big fan of these like super low budget movies.
Uh-huh.
I can't even call them B-rated movies because that's disrespectful to B-rated movies. I begrudgingly watched it, and I think I remember saying something like, I'd rather slam my dick in a car door than watch this movie again. And I went off on a little tangent like that. So,
Yeah.
with that information still fresh in mind, I'm just going to give it, I don't want to be a complete asshole and give it 0 stars.
Judge the movie,
Um,
not your character.
oh no, I don't
Oh,
give a
okay.
shit about my character. But my instinct is to give it half a star. I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah.
All right.
As a
Well,
matter
then
of
it's
fact,
a
I
half.
got one on here.
Yeah. All right. Then half a star. That's all this
All
movie gets
right.
from me.
We get 1/2 here for Suburban
Yeah.
Sasquatch.
Half a
It's
star,
like,
man.
yeah, I watched it, you know.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go in the kind of another direction. I'm going to keep it in the middle at 3
Okay.
because of you know, anybody who watches that movie should get like a medal of honor
Mhm.
from the United States government. You know,
Mhm.
it should be reserved for those that, you know, are valor. Uh, but yeah, it is definitely, it was a movie. We watched the movie. I saw
Mhm.
the movie. You saw the movie. Moving on, we are now at Hell House LLC, the first Hell House.
Yes.
I gave this a 3 bags of popcorn. You gave it a 3.5 bags of
Mhm.
popcorn.
Yeah. I really do like this movie. I really do. I think it's one of the better found footage movies.
Yeah.
But I can't justify giving it 4 stars. So I think I need to stay at 3.5.
Yeah, that I am in total agreements with this. I also am going to just give this a 3. Uh Nothing special.
Right. But what did you
Nothing.
give it before?
I gave it a 3. So moving on to our next
Yes.
one, we
Yes.
did Commando. I gave this 3, hold on, 2 3/4 of whatever I said.
How many stars?
I gave this 2 3/4 stars.
Because
Jesus.
this is the one where we were doing Seagulls.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This is
So
where we
the more Seagals, all right. So our theory was the more Steven Seagals, because nobody wants a single one to begin with. The more you gave it, the worse the movie was.
Yeah.
That was the idea behind giving movies Steven Seagals. So you gave it 2 3/4 Steven Seagals.
Yeah.
So
No,
you almost liked you technically liked the movie. That would be like giving it 4 and a little over half.
yeah.
So you
It
almost
would
gave
be,
this a 5 star.
yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Commando.
Yeah.
Commando.
All right.
Commando was
Well,
good.
let's see if that changes.
And you gave it 3 Steven Seagal's stars, whatever you said,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe. So Commando, where does Commando sit on your palette today?
Man, I'm going to, man, looking back at this movie, I'm gonna go 2.5 stars.
Okay, 2.5.
Yeah, this is a big, well, it's not a big drop. It's a drop though.
Okay.
The movie's stupid. Crazy Odds. I love this movie. It's so stupid. It's
Yeah,
so
but it's
dumb.
Arnold stupid.
I know, but like out of Arnold's stupid movies, there's better stupid Arnold movies.
Yeah. Me, I'm gonna stay at 3. I kind of enjoy that schlocky 80s action movie,
Yeah.
but not enough. Not compared to some of the 80s schlock that we like. But yeah, it just wasn't.
So it came down for you too.
Yeah. Yeah, to a 2, and but then again, I'm having to do conversions. I think I just said a
If
fucking
you
confusing ass
gave it,
number.
if you gave it 2 3/4
All right, moving on now to probably I think is something that may move. We're talking about Point Break.
Yeah. Point Break. Another early 90s action movie. We will get a horror movie. I know, I wanted a horror movie so bad.
All right, guys. Joe's leaving.
Talking about Point Break. I gave this movie 4 stars. You gave it 4.5 stars.
Right.
So do you want me just to write 5? You want me to write 5?
Just pencil down 5. 6 stars.
Yeah, 5.
10 stars. 10 stars movie.
Yeah,
dude.
5 and 5 more and stuff. This was the greatest fucking movie we've ever found on this show.
Yeah, dude.
I wanted a horror movie so bad.
All right, guys. Yeah, a lot of these movies we tried to go into having never seen, or at least one of us having never seen.
All right.
We were picking out of a bucket, and Point Break was in there. I hadn't seen it. Jerry hadn't seen it. And boy, were we excited when we came across this. We came back to the table. We were like, oh my God, how have we lived this long without seeing Point Break?
Yeah.
But if this is a solid 4 star. It's a solid 4 stars. Woo!
I'm still going to go with 4.5.
Okay.
And if you think it sucked, please comment, tell us why, but you got to have a really, you got to tell me Patrick Swayze killed your dad. You got to have a real fucking good reason for that. Yeah, 5 stars.
5 stars. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Now we are at Tim Burton's Batman. I gave this 3 stars. You gave this a 1-star review.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't, at that time we had 3 followers and a bag of chips. So
yeah.
Now we've got 4 and no chips. I ate them. So I'm surprised we didn't get more blowback from that. But no, I'm sticking with a 1-star movie.
You're going to stick with a 1?
Yeah, the original Batman I don't give a shit about.
I've watched this recently, and with the new Batman that came out with fucking what's his face?
The sparkly vampire.
Yeah. I'm actually going to move it up to at least 3.5.
See, no, that's where I think you're going to make a mistake. Because this movie, in comparison to that movie, is better, but that doesn't make this movie good.
Yeah, but it my memory from the movie,
a shit on a floor and a shit in a toilet, it's still shit. So you can pick. I would rather have the shit in the toilet than on the floor, but it's still shit. So, don't use the sparkly vampire to give this a rating. You know what I mean? Just look at this movie as if this is the only thing that exists in this realm. How was this movie?
The portrayal in the movie. Okay. You got to remember at the time that that's the one thing that we've talked about a lot, is that you have to judge movies on movies that came out at that time. So Batman, there were no big budget superhero movies. We'd had Superman and shit like that.
Right.
And I think Tim Burton coming in from doing Beetlejuice, doing these things, he did come in and bring something new to the table of saying, okay, I can make a comic book movie. And yeah, there were a lot of plagiarized comic book movies after that, and people being like, oh, this is going to be the future. But I think one thing that the movie really needs to be saluted for is giving Batman a kind of this new look, this new idea, because the only thing people really remember Batman that didn't read comics was that shit.
Yeah.
So I think this movie deserves that 1 extra half star compared to my 3 original. It's not that bad,
Okay.
I know you weren't a fan of it, so.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of it, but I do agree. I think Tim Burton brought something special and started, something. I just think he honed it more with the campiness of the others. But also I just wanted to make sure that you are judging this movie,
Yes,
not
not
this movie against the
other
little
movies. Yes, it's like Batman's good. Like I really like the Christopher Nolan ones. It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
not that shit. So, but moving on, we have the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. We have 3s across the board.
I recently was talking to somebody about these movies that had just watched the original and not the remake
Yeah.
or the second one. And I found myself speaking more highly of it than I remembered. Now, I would have to go back and watch this review to remember exactly how I spoke about it, but while I was telling this person about it, I felt like I was speaking more highly of it than I did in the review.
Okay.
So for that reason, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars.
Okay. Go up a half.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to stay at 3. I think we did suck its dick a little bit. It wasn't like, kind of 3.
Right.
It's kind of like, no, it was good. Nothing compared to the first movie. But do I care enough about Hills Have Eyes? Like, no, but it's still a good movie.
Right.
So I'm going to stay at 3. Now we are moving to Scream. I gave this a 4-star, and you also gave this a 4-star movie. Where are you sitting right now on Scream?
I think that at that time I was like, damn, I kind of like this movie more than I thought I did. Especially when it came out, I was a fan of it, but I wasn't that big of a fan of it. Now I'm a bigger fan, so I think the only thing I can do is I'm going to move it up half a star because it's not a 5-star movie.
Okay.
But I do feel like 4.5 stars is a suitable place for this.
4.5.
Yeah.
I think I am going to move 5.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And the only reason is because of the villain. Really, it just shows the longevity of Ghostface, that people still want to see Ghostface, that they even created a name like Pinhead. They never call him Pinhead, they never call it Ghostface, but yet we've created this character. The audience has had longevity, remakes and things of
Again,
that
those
nature.
are aspects that you don't bring into rating this one. You're looking at this and the rest of the franchise going, the longevity, the crowd still wants to see another one. That is all aside. This movie is what you got to look at, not
And
everything
this is where the
else.
but comes in.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
None of those things can touch the first movie. None of them.
Right.
Because
I agree.
It was, when we were doing our West Craven top 5, and you put Scream number 1, we were even talking about how this rejuvenized that whole genre of slasher where it had been corny and dead and no one really fucking cared. But this movie, it did, and it created maybe like a couple more years of more different slasher style movies until found footage and Japanese horror movies came out that really killed it. But this movie, I think Scream deserves that 5 of being just an all and genuine like wow movie.
You know what? Yeah, I agree. I'll give it 5 stars.
You're gonna go 5 too?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think so. Especially taking into all those things that I shouldn't into account. Like, yeah. I mean, it's a good ass movie.
All right, moving on. I think of the last one of this one video. We go to Hell Baby. I gave this 4 stars. You gave this 3.5 stars.
Welcome back, terrestrials, to the Quarantine Movie Reviews. In this episode, we're doing the Black Dahlia.
No, we didn't do Black Dahlia.
No, we didn't do Black Dahlia. Yeah, we decided against that. In today's episode, though, we are going to be doing Hell Baby. It's interesting that you gave this more than I did when I brought it to the table.
Yeah, it was
like I almost forced this one on you.
I think Po' Boy. I think Po' Boy was the
yeah, I know you
conclusion, and it was
really.
just.
I think I need to get a po' boy. Are you game?
Oh, no, I shouldn't. You know what? Fuck it.
Two more shrimp po' boys?
Yeah, it was just like I think we had this long conversation, and I think this movie was just underground comedy horror. I think rewired. It could have been like as big as a Tucker and Dale and a Shaun of the Dead, but I think it just floated under everybody's radar and stuff. But I enjoyed it. I am not going to move a star. I'm going to keep the 4 on there. What are you thinking?
I think I'm just going to stay at 3.5 stars.
3.5. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes
I really like this movie, and I honestly, if you said, do you want to watch Tucker, Dale, or Hell Baby, I would probably pick Hell Baby.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't, I don't know, and I understand that that probably doesn't make sense to most people, that I gave Tucker and Dale a higher rating than this, and I would rather watch this. But I think that the ending to this one was just so like, same thing with Tucker and Dale, honestly. I think that it was just such a bomb. Like, I don't like that blonde lady. She still annoys me. If she was anybody else, this could be a 4.5, 5-star movie.
Yeah.
Like, all these actors are hilarious. The movie's hilarious, but there was just some elements to it that I was like, and her being one of the biggest ones, where I was just like, dude. Ugh.
I think the comedy, the comedians that were actually comedians in the movie really did a wonderful job. I almost wish that the girl that played the sister would have been replaced by her. Like they would have got rid of that wife character that was pregnant with the Hell Baby and just given it to the sister, the actress that played the sister, because that she was more of a comedian.
Yeah. And it would have been better to just like, oh, you're pregnant, come move in with me.
Yeah.
I just bought this new house. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I understand the line of reasoning as to why they wrote the script they did. I just, that blonde lady, she pisses me off.
Yeah.
And there's only so long that I'm gonna stare at the same pair of tits before I'm just like, all right, Jesus. Like, I mean, boobs are always gonna get you a 0.5 star.
Yeah.
Like, they did it so long, it made it uncomfortable. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it 3.5 stars.
3.5. All right. And that has been our introduction to this video. Join us on our next video where we will be going through some more.
Yeah.